I just want to thank all of my subscribers. I finally broke the 200 mark about a week and a half ago, and I really want to do something special, so sit back, let me know what you think, and enjoy. Good morning, everybody. So, woke up first thing this morning, and as you can see, the this tank is like half full. I actually did a little bit of work before I recorded this. I had to take care of it immediately. This thing, as you can see, it's turning out like I think it got clogged or something, because it was like pointing up like that, but a little bit higher. And it was dripping, I guess, all night long. But I had a taupe under here. Not this one, I had a bigger one with all my stuff. At least all like my extra filters and stuff like that, and it filled up. A little bit did get on the floor, but thank God the hardware are fine. This is the Remy's playing. The one thing that I worry about the most is ruining these floors. Thankfully, if you've seen my other vlogs, you know my experience with flooding and water messes. So hopefully the gods will smile upon me and not smite me with more ruined things. Anyway, I have kind of taken this as a sign to redo this tank today. So I'm going to record that for you. I'm going to show you how I tear this thing down, what I do with the beta, and rescaping it and pruning this. So yeah, let me get some coffee and we'll get to going. Hey everybody, welcome back. So we're going to be rescaping this tank. As you can see, I have it on the table here. Got this handy dandy card table out here. So what I'm doing right now is draining some of the tank water, more of it anyway, and I'm draining it into that 2.5 gallon tank that I had for the koi beta, which is in his new home and he's loving it. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to remove the beta and the filter media and plants that I'm going to be using throughout the project down in that tank. Well, I'll put it up here, but in that tank, everything, so the beneficial bacteria won't be disturbed too much, and the beta will have a nice place to be too. So as you can see here, I set up this little 2.5 gallon tank. Yes, I did clean it and sterilized it before I did all this, but he's in there with the filter media and the heater, so he's going to be comfy. He's not very happy. He does not like being fished out of his home for the last year and a half. As I redecorate, he's just going to chill out with me here. So first things first, I have all my tools laid out, but I'm going to be cleaning the glass, so I have my dog hair everywhere. So I have my glass cleaner, my magnetic glass cleaner, and I'm going to clean up all the algae. So I'm hoping that you guys can see plenty well enough, but I'm going to start cleaning this up and then start removing the plants and kind of go from there. As you can see, I originally attached some Java fern to this piece of wood, and it has done very well. As you can see, this giant root structure in the back is just taken hold and is actually pretty well attached to it. So I may actually end up keeping that just because it's this will suck up nitrates like none other. So that will be actually very helpful. So I may just end up leaving this. I may prune it back a bit, but let's put that aside for now and continue on. You got the really nice Anubias here, which has attached itself to this rock, which I think is pretty cool, how the roots are just like hanging on to it. But this has grown out pretty well. It's been really slow, but it is like so low light that it doesn't get, and you can see there's a little Java fern that has attached itself to it. So I think I might just leaving a lot of these big pieces alone, but try to clean it up. I have a whole bunch of water sprayed in here, which surprisingly enough does actually really well in this tank. Not so much in others. Tons of Java fruit. You know, when I first started, I only started off with about this much. I have them in almost every single tank. There's a fine layer of detritus in here. I'm going to do my best to clean up once I find wherever the assassin snail is hiding. He likes to bury himself in the substrate, so I'm going to try to sift through here a little bit, see if I can find him. He's not on any of the pieces that I pulled out, but I'm going to see if I can find him along with all the snails that are now all over the table and plop them in. They'll be fine, but just make sure that I don't kill off that entire population. So one purpose of this rescape is to thoroughly clean this sucker out. So we're going to be vacuuming the substrate a lot and getting that fine layer of detritus out of here as best we can. I'm not going to take all the sand out. I don't think I'm going to add any either. I kind of like the level that it's at, but I'm going to just try to clean it up as best I can. So I have a vinegar and water solution that I like to use to clean. Are you serious? Every time I try to talk, Remy keeps dropping his ball. Look at him. Look at him back there. Hey Remy, you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing, huh? Oh, Remy. Good boy. Good catch. So what I have done is created just a slight slope. You can't really tell. Then I try to level out the bottom. My next step is to kind of go through the plants that I have. I was thinking about replacing this piece of driftwood, but honestly I like it a lot. Now there's a lot going on here, so what I'm going to do is kind of trim some of this off. I might reuse it in other places in the tank build, but for right now I kind of just want to clean this up. And I might re-stick this stuff to the wood, but let's see what I end up doing. Those are some lovely pieces of Java fruit. I like to keep them kind of in the crevices. I think it looks actually more natural that way. I'm really hesitant, but I know that I need to kind of prune this back. I'd like to give the beta some more room to swim around, so I'm just going to cut off some of this stuff in the center. Honestly, I don't even need to cut it. Most of that will just come off with a little force. But honestly, I really like how that looks. I didn't even have to try. It just grew that way. So you can see here I have some like holes that I kind of want to fill. So I like to put you know, pieces of plant that I know that don't need to be planted in the substrate in like little crevices of wood. I've done this in other things, other pieces of wood and other items in my other builds. But then this is kind of like the front facing of the tank, so I don't really see this, especially when having it back in the closet area where I do, which is not going to be permanent. Once I move to the new room in the house, there's going to be a lot more room to play with. So I'm sure you've seen my other tank, my 5-gallon, where I have the wood actually out of the water. I've been kind of playing with it and how I might want this. It's a big piece. I originally had it in the Fluval 12-gallon, which I like to bring back someday too. I like to play with it a little bit. I don't mind having the wood up against the glass sometimes, because the wood won't really do a whole lot of harm compared to the rock. But on the other hand, I don't want these plants to be out of the water, because you can see the edges of them kind of like start to melt off. But I also want to give plenty of room for the beta to swim around and stuff. So I'm going to play with that a little bit and see what I want to do with it. So what I'm going to do is I have a whole bunch of these rocks like hill stream rocks. I got these at like PetSmart or Petco or something for a couple bucks. What I'm gonna do is just take some from the current tank that the beta's in at the moment and just to keep the, I like to put the rocks there to keep the Java fern kind of standing upwards. So this also counts as them not being rooted. There's gonna be plenty of space for them for their roots to continue growing where it's not gonna be underground. So part of it is still gonna be exposed while part of it's gonna be under the rock or at least under the wood and stuff. So I mean, actually what I'm gonna do is cut off some of these more dead looking leaves on here. None of them look like they're spawning any new plants anyway, so I'm not too worried about cutting these more rough looking ones off. New ones will definitely continue to grow. Now it's funny because this plant propagates in like 2 different ways, so I don't see any on any of these. So actually here, I'm gonna cut this leaf off just to kind of show you. So this will continue growing, as you can see, like the stem. The stem will just continue to grow longer and leaves will sprout from those. And it's hard to see, but you can kind of see those little black, like pod looking things on there. So those are actually brand new Java ferns. If you ever get these and you're wondering what the heck is growing on your leaves, they're actually will be sprouting new plants in time. No, it may take a while for them to do that, but that is how they will sprout new plants along the way. They'll be all up on the other side of the leaves, and you'll start seeing them grow. I feel like that's starting to come together a bit. I still have a ton of plants and stuff that I want to use, so I think I might put some more Java fern in the back here and leave kind of a wider area open for the beta to swim in. I like the Java fern a lot. As you can tell, that's like pretty much the only thing in this tank. I do have some new plants coming actually, which I will be doing an update on this as soon as I get it. So I don't want to stuff this this tank full of the Java fern. So I kind of like that, but I do have quite a bit more that I want to use. I like the kind of hill stream, so I'm using a lot of smooth rocks here. That was my intention from the very beginning. I do have some other like slate and stuff, but I don't want to change the scape that much. But really, I wanted to. The purpose of this was really to kind of clean it up. So I'm gonna just place some of these smaller ferns here and there, really kind of fill this piece of driftwood up. But other than that, I think honestly it's looking pretty nice to me, and I have a ton left over too, which I might just find other homes for. But I think that's looking pretty good. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to clean the glass and get it ready to be refilled. I'm going to clean out the back end a bit too and try to siphon the rest of the water out back there, because it's a lot of dirty water. So, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put everything back together. I got to make sure that the temperature is the same as the little tank that I have the beta in at the moment. So I may need to put him in a bag for a little bit and let him acclimate to the temperature for about a good 15 minutes, and then he should be fine. So let me go ahead and get this tank filled up, and I'm going to clean up the glass a little bit more because it's still just not as clean as I would like it to be. Here we are with a newly scaped 5 gallon. I put some food in there for him. I also added an Indian almond leaf to help the parameters. Now don't worry, it is a little cloudy, but it will clear up by morning. So I know it's still a little cloudy, so don't worry about that. It should be clear as day tomorrow morning. So let's go ahead and fast forward. And here we are next morning. You can see him up there hanging out. But it is crystal clear. and everybody's happy. You can even see the assassin snail hanging out there in the rocks. But overall, I like the new Scape. It's very minimal compared, that is. We took out a lot of the plants, and now the beta has a lot more room to swim around, and it's more open, but still keeps that hill stream look that I was going for. So we're gonna fast forward today. I got this in the mail. I just got an alert that it's been in there. So these are the plants I ordered. I'm gonna open them. I started opening it, and I was like, why am I not recording this? So I'm gonna finish opening it. Already though, there's water. It's like really damp. So, however they packaged this wasn't completely watertight. Not the easiest thing to open. And there we go. So I got 4 tissue cultures of this hydrocodal tripartia. Sorry if I did not pronounce that right. I'm not the best with those kind of scientific names. But they look okay, honestly. I don't really see much browning, just a little bit, but I got these for the 5-gallon Rescape, but they didn't get here just in time. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add them, and I'm gonna show you the end result and see what happens. Oh, all done. So here we are. We've added the new plant. I actually did not add all of it. I actually still have another culture and a half. I don't have enough room on the wood to really put it. And I really want those to take hold. And I don't want to put the rest in the sand. I put a little bit, as you can see at the bottom there. But I do have an assassin snail in there, so that means he will burrow and most likely eventually kick that up, but that depends. Having only one in there limits that concern, but honestly, they're gorgeous. I wish I would have gotten these sooner. So what I'm going to do with that other culture and a half is put it in with the dwarf baby tears and put that in the in that piece of wood. And we'll see how these go. Maybe if it grows enough, I can start putting in the larger tanks. I would love some kind of smaller, quicker growing plant. These specific type of plant, or this specific type of plant, is known to be a quick grower. So, and they actually came looking really healthy. So, I'm really happy about that. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It took me a bit to put it together. This has been this one was a bit of a challenge for me compared to the other ones. I had a lot going on. So, but yeah, I appreciate you guys watching, and let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. Catch you later.